Hello, my name is Barbara Scales, and I am a prevention educator here at Middle Tennessee State University. It's one of the jobs that I do, but I'm also a director for one of the departments here. But for these next couple of weeks, I'm going to be your prevention educator, and wow, I am so excited to do this. Let me tell you, as part of our University 1010 courses, we want to make sure that you are aware of everything our campus has to offer. And one of the things that we have to offer is making sure that our community is safe, and you play a big part of that. For the next couple of weeks, we're going to provide you with information on what that safety looks like, and we're going to provide you with skills on how you can be a big part, an active supporter in making sure that our community is safe. Now, you've probably already seen what I'm getting ready to show you next, but as you go to your next screen, what you're going to see is what we call our True Blue Pledge. Let's take a minute and look at that True Blue Pledge, and I'm going to encourage you to read that along with me as I read it with you. Here's our True Blue Pledge, and it says, and if you don't mind, please read it along with me as I read it out loud. I am a true blue. I am true blue. Sorry about that. As a member of this diverse community, I am a valuable contributor to its progress and success. I am engaged in the life of this community, and I am a recipient and a giver. I am a listener and a speaker. I am honest in word and deed. I am committed to reason and not violence. That's the thing that I want to focus on as we look at this True Blue Pledge. That we in our community are committed to reason and not violence. That's going to be our focus for the next couple of weeks as you see me as your prevention educator. And I am a learner now and forever. I am a Blue Raider. I am true blue. Again, what we're going to focus on for the next couple of weeks is the phrase, I'm committed to reason and not violence. Join me as we explore what this means. You know, I always like to start with the story why I'm so passionate about the True Blue Pledge and why I'm so passionate about committing ourselves to nonviolence. I attended a university some time ago, years ago, matter of fact, but attended a university somewhat the size of Middle Tennessee State University. It's about 24,000 students at a university in Texas, and me and some friends were walking across campus. And as we were walking across campus, we were having a good time, we were laughing, we were getting ready to go to what we called the quad. And the quad was where everybody hung out. There's so many food places out there. Hundreds and thousands of people will go to the quad on a daily basis just to hang out and have a good time and eat in between courses and classes, preparing us for our next session that our class that we were going to go to. And as we were walking across campus, we noticed a guy and a girl against the wall. Matter of fact, the girl was against the wall and the guy was aggravated. You could tell he was upset and aggravated at something that something he's aggravated at the girl. And as we were walking across campus, I kind of nudged my friends as we were laughing, kind of helped them look over there because I mean he was pointing at her, angrily pointing at her and saying something where he was aggravated. And the more he did that, and the more he became aggravated and pointed his finger at her, the more she knelt down against the wall and kind of began to slide down the brick wall that she was on. And we continued to talk and conversate, and later, like a few seconds later, all you heard was this loud boom, this noise. And as we looked up to where the noise was coming from in the quad, because it kind of echoed, because the quad was kind of like an echo place, and it kind of echoed because there was buildings around the quad. And as we looked, we saw where the guy had took a bottle and threw it against the brick wall at the girl, and the girl began to cover her head in protection mode. And we looked and we saw, and I said it was hundreds and thousands of people out there. And I'm saying this to say this. And I want to back up a little bit to remind you that this story today is where a man is showing violence to a female. But I'm going to tell you that men are also victims of violence just as well as females. I don't want to discriminate when it comes to that. I know both men and women are victims of violence. But we're going back to my story. We looked over there and the girl was kneeling down, covering her head in fear. And hundreds and thousands of people, we looked and we saw, and we looked and we saw again. And not one person, including myself, went to her aid. And it haunts me today. It haunts me for one reason. It haunts me because I always think about what was going through her mind. Was she a victim of violence? I go through him and I look at him and I say, was he a perpetrator of violence, and has he done this before, and where did he learn that behavior from? And I've taught these courses all over campus, bystander intervention and these type of courses. And I remember a guy stopped me in the middle of my presentation once and he says, I also think about the female as well. And I also wonder, was she thinking, why didn't anyone come to my aid? Why didn't anyone stop to see if I was safe and if I needed more assistance? Violence on university campuses happen all over. And we go back to the True Blue Pledge. We want to make sure that every student on our campus is safe. We want to make sure that you're aware of how to be safe on campus and how to keep yourself safe as well as your fellow Blue Raiders. You're getting ready to watch a video. And as you watch this video, I want you to specifically think about what are some examples of violence on university campuses, not just here at Middle Tennessee State, that you've seen on social media, that you've been seeing on the news lately, but what are some type of violences that you know of? And then I also want you to think about this as you watch this next video. What is one thing that you can do as a Blue Raider to prevent violence on our campus? Let's look at the video.
While most students are focused on learning, college campuses aren't insulated from crime.
It seems like a lot of stuff has happened, like just a lot of, I don't know, small things like people, like sexual assault, shootings last year and all that stuff. So yeah, it seems that way, but I've been here for 3 years. Seems like it's gone up.
According to the TBI, statewide campus crime is up slightly, just over 4% from 2010 to 2011. While 40% of the crimes involved larceny or theft, more serious offenses also increased.
But I can tell you two other areas that college campuses have reported seeing more crime is drug violations and sex offenses. Rape is up, drug violations are up, so I know that that's one of the trends that people are looking at as well.
Sexual assaults, sexual offenses rather, are some of the most underreported offenses. So we just try to create an atmosphere that people feel very comfortable coming forward.
Middle Tennessee State University had 2011's only campus murder. Tina Stewart stabbed to death in an apartment near campus, allegedly by roommate Shanterica Madden.
It doesn't change directly on a day-to-day what we do. It just, it basically sharpens our perspective when you look at, what we have to do, and that is provide a safe environment. And we feel like we do that on the campus here.
MTSU is adding residence hall security, additional lighting, and controlled traffic access. Students are already taking notice.
The campus is large, and with the population, there's going to be crime. But I think like the law enforcement, the visible law enforcement, definitely help reduce crime around here.
Now, I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to think about the questions that I asked before. What are other examples of violence that can occur on a university campus, any university campus? Write those down. And then I want you to ask this question: what is one thing that you can do to prevent violence on our campus? Now, before your next class session, write a paragraph on the above questions and be ready to share your written responses in class. As always, remember, if you are a victim of violence, we do have a policy here at MTSU where we say no closed doors. We want to make sure that you're safe on this campus, and if you feel like you or someone that you know have been a victim, here's some reporting information. Please take a picture of this slide and keep this with you. It's so important that we make sure that our students and our community is safe.